I haven't been able to make her into the same kind of gamer that I am. I could get her to play Settlers, but that's about it. I'm like trying to tell her how Last Night on Earth is really awesome, and it's Dominion is great, and I'm like, come on, it'll be really fun. And she just doesn't get it. But she loves word games, so we play the shit out of Bananagrams, and. We actually, my friend Boyan developed a Bananagrams variant called Bananas Foster, and the way that this game works is it's what it sounds like. You pick up the you play with your offhand. So I'm left-handed, so I play with my right hand. Every time you make anyone else in the game peel, you have to take a drink of your non-alcoholic beverage, because drinking games are irresponsible, adults of legal drinking age. And what happens when you're doing this, merely because you're playing with your offhand, is that your letters begin to look, well, wavy. And it sort of evens out Bananagrams. It's a great equalizer. And I actually lost a game that it looked like I was winning, because as it turns out, a part of my board went like this. And when we stacked it all back up, I had like 7 illegal words that were all together. And I was like, but it's totally fine. So this is another story about my wife and me. When I was younger, I told a lot of stories about raising our kids, who are Anne's kids, who were my stepkids at the time, and now that they're grown up, I don't really tell as many stories about them and about raising them, and I find myself enjoying and then writing stories more about the two of us living together and having the house to ourselves, and not, I know, right? And not, just sort of not being responsible for, like, feeding and clothing children all over the time. Because what I don't miss is, like, when's the dinner I'm going to complain about going to be ready? This is after the kids moved out and we have the place to ourselves, and we had gone out to dinner, and when this happened about a year ago. It's called "In Which Highlights for Children is Discussed at Great Length." On the way home from dinner, I asked Anne, "Do you remember highlights for children?" "Of course I do," she said. "I remember how I hated going to the doctor when I was a kid until I started reading highlights in the waiting room." "Turn right at this intersection," I said, "and Trader Joe's will be on the left in a block." Who has a Trader Joe's where they live? Okay, so Trader Joe's is awesome, right? It is like super great. I love Trader Joe's, and honestly, and the Trader Joe's cookbook, super great too. It's like Trader Joe's is gonna be your prep kitchen, and you can trick people into thinking you know how to cook by putting these things together and following a chart. But I wonder who that guy is that works for Trader Joe's, where his job is sort of go around and find where the Trader Joe's are gonna be, and he goes out and he scouts locations, and he finds like unique buildings and areas full of people who want to shop there, and he's going down the list, and he's saying, "This is great, this is perfect, I love," oh, no, the parking lot is way too big and convenient for there to be a Trader Joe's here. No, sorry. We want people to come into our store angry, sweating, and late. "So turn right at this intersection," I said, "and Trader Joe's will be on the left in a block." She turned right, and I realized that Trader Joe's was actually on the left. "Oh, my bad, it's actually back there." So we drove under the freeway to a place where we could make a U-turn, and I said, "Did anyone ever read highlights in some place that wasn't the doctor's or dentist's office?" "The library at my school had a subscription," she said, "so we'd read it there." We got to the next intersection. It featured a really big "No U-turns" sign. "Wow, this quick stop into Trader Joe's is turning into quite the adventure," I said, as we waited at the red light. We were quiet for a second. I said, "I bet seeing highlights in someone else's house would have been like seeing your teacher at the grocery store, like it's familiar, but it's so out of context, you don't really know what to do, and you don't try real hard not to make eye contact, and then you just want to leave and not be there anymore." The light turned green, and we made a left onto a dark industrial street. "You know what I always hated about highlights?" Anne asked. "Some idiot kid had always circled the hidden pictures." "Seriously," I said, "fuck that kid. That kid's a dick." She looked at me, And what kind of parent gives their kid a pen to draw all over a magazine that's obviously intended for more than one child to read? Asshole parents, I said. It's called Highlights for Children, jerk, not highlights for your children. Because doctors' offices don't exactly have a lot of pens just lying around in the waiting room, she said. She pulled into a driveway about halfway down the street and turned around. Exactly, I said. Some mom had to go into her purse, dig around the used Kleenex and that gigantic weird kind of checkbook wallet thing that moms carry, and find the pen. We turned back toward Trader Joe's. I raised my hands over my head as we went through the freeway underpass. Whee! I put my hands back in my lap. I mean, there's a lot of time for her to think, hey, maybe we shouldn't be giving little Johnny Fuckface this pen to ruin the magazine for all the other children. I'm sweating up here. We turned to the tiny Trader Joe's parking lot and parked the car. As we got out and walked in, I said, Highlight should have done Goofus and Gallant about that. Ann turned around. You have spent a lot of time thinking about this. It is what I do. The end.